Yo, welcome back to
FOREX Is Stupid.
and yo, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Had to take a little step back. Not it wasn't intentionally, but um my main thing I like to do is when I have to take a step back from something I like blame myself for life being life, life be life. And so this is just the raw part of me saying like, okay, I took a couple, I think it was like last week, this week, I think, because this is May. And I think I did the first week of May, I want to say. Let me look on this. I think, and then the next 2 weeks, the week after that, and then this upcoming week is what we're on now. So I think I want to say I missed like 1 week, actually, because I was looking at my calendar and all that good stuff. We can put that up right there. Um, that would be April. Actually, still need to do that. May 7th. So May 7th, yep. So May 7th was my last recording, and then I took a break off from this that week. It definitely was crazy and a lot of things going on. So I just didn't even try. By the time I realized um this that week was happening, it was already looking into like that Thursday or something. And then we have the 20th, is the week that we are now. So all in all, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So it's about a week. We haven't been on here, but let's tap back in. So since we was in May, when I looked at this, I would like to like clear the month, the week and the day off just a little bit and then see what I'm looking at from there. Uh so we'll start with Nas 100. I'm just gonna delete everything from there because I did miss about a week. Um a lot has happened since then. So I want to move off of this month candle, which is April. Um, let's say transfer March, April, May 7th. So when we start, so we was in this month, and then the last week of April was in this month, so we marked everything off of this. So coming into that middle week, we should have been marking this here, but anyway, so let's do that. We're gonna delete it from the previous weekly, the open, the previous weekly open, the previous weekly monthly. We're just gonna delete all that good stuff, right? And then go move forward. So hopefully you guys had a great weekend. I want to talk a little bit more about news, but I would like to get my thoughts out. So I'm not going to focus too much on news per se here. Okay. Here. And I'm gonna point some things out with this trend line in a second. Here. What I mean by that is on the chart. So I'll be dropping some more things on the FOREX Is Stupid podcast, and then we'll talk more about news and how I understand it and how I don't understand it and where I feel like I need more growth at different things like that. Boring, boring stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just just being a nerd, just boring stuff. It ain't really. All right. Sorry about this taking me forever. Yes, but the reason why I do this because I don't. I like I said, I barely, faintly remember anything about that week. And then looking at that in between time, that's about 2 weeks. And because we came in the beginning of that month, and now we're like toward the end, I just wanna remark everything. All right, think we got it. Let's go back to our week. Yep, and our month. All right, so we're gonna go to our month time frame, and then we're gonna mark everything. Uh, Sorry about that. Oh, it's locked. Boom. All right. This is a major support, which was a major resistance at a point in time until about around February 1st, 2024, and then March 1st, 2024. So, and then we continued about that. We were above this pivot level price bounce off of that. Uh, so this is the month candle that we're on right now, May of 1st of 25. So we want to mark off the previous candle, which is April, which is last month. So we're going to mark the open, the closing, the high, and the low, if it's available, on this candle. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. Doo. I like purple. Think the colors that I'm gonna rock with is purple, red, and orange, I think. I'm still working on that part. I want to get specific colors that I'll use strictly for the month, the day, the week, stuff like that. Okay. All right. And then let me move this out the way. We're gonna mark the low because there's no high of this candle. All right. There's no high. But all right, there's a purple. There is a low. So we have the opening, the closing of this candle, and a low. So we're going to mark that for the month time frame. So we're going to go to previous monthly open. And since we're selling, we sell from the top and we close out from the bottom. This is price start at the top and falls below where the original price is. That's how you know you're selling. So this is what the previous monthly open is. And then we will create a previous monthly close where price closed at below the original price line for that month, previous monthly close. And then we'll have a low, which is where price tried to go the lowest at on the month, but could not keep it there. It wasn't enough sellers in the market to keep it there. Okay. So previous monthly low. All right. So for the month, as long as price don't fall below this pivot point and this major support, if the price does fall below, we're looking for a sell. Price doesn't fall below, we're still in opportunity for a buy. All right, but if price does fall below this pivot point, it has an opportunity to go down to this previous major low to see if it's going to break this major support to back to resistance. And if it doesn't, then we could be looking at a possible reverse there. Let me slide this back over to what it was. There you go. Now we got the previous monthly, the previous open, the previous monthly open, the previous monthly close. So now we're gonna drop down to our weekly time frames to find what we need and our daily. Yeah. What kind are we on for this week? This is May 19th. So this is the candle we're gonna work off of right here. And as of today, right now, at current price, is below the previous weekly uh close, but has not broke above the previous weekly high. So I am working on getting my life together, and I know I keep saying in these episodes, but I am. So when I start to drop these courses back to back, um, you guys have a more of a gist of what I'm doing because you've been watching me do it. That makes sense. All right, so I said orange. Yeah. Purple, orange. Just gonna use this. Okay. Yeah. Mm. And I don't know who's watching, but if you feel like you are going through some things and you just like, man, sometimes I feel I'm not going to make it. You're not the only one. Everyone feels like that. But you just gotta keep going. It makes you different and everybody don't go through what you go through. Whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. I'm trying to oh, now we're gonna label since we buy is the bullish candle. You're gonna to the open is gonna be from the bottom, the close of it is gonna be at the top, and then we're looking for a high or a low of the candle if it's any. So on this particular candle, there's no previous monthly weekly low, but there's a previous weekly high. I mean open. Previous weekly close. And then we have a previous weekly high. All right. So from the previous week, you can see already that prices broke above the previous weekly close, um, but it has not broken above the previous weekly high. Right. So that's a keynote. Um, um, oh, all right. So now let's go down to our day. We're gonna mark our day time frame and then we're gonna put everything together and then we're gonna move on to the next chart. So this candle. Let me see if I can put some music on. Let's see how this goes so far. I don't know anything. All right. One second. 'Cause I need to put them in real quick. 1 second. That probably did nothing to stop uh oh the marking, the open and the closing. And this candle particularly has a high and a low. So you want to keep in mind of that. Hmm. Previously daily, open. Even if it's buying, even if it has, even if it has an open and closing, a high and a low of the week, it's still going to have the opening and closing. So if it's a buy, the buy low, sell high. If it's a sell, sell high. You start and sell high, and you take it out down to low, right? Ooh, my bad. So you start high and you take it out low. Red, there goes right there. Red. Previous daily high, previous daily low, right? We'll be smacking on these call drops. Right back. Let's pull this back to the week. Where were our weekly high? I don't know why I was up there, but our weekly high is right here. Let's trade some of this up. Okay. Yeah, previous weekly closes down there, so it is orange. And then we're gonna go to the month. Let's see what it's like from there. So our previous monthly open is purple. I mean, our previous month is purple. Our previous week is yellow, orange type, and our previous day is red. Now, starting from the week time, looking at NAS 100, it is above this pivot level, and we saw it break a major support. Um, so I currently think it is buying. Personally, right? We did see it fall, make this W formation up here that I got circled with the red um circles. Mm, mm. What what did price do for the day? Definitely bought it. Mm. I want the piece of daily hybrid, and I would buy. Mm-hmm. Above this pivot point. Um, yeah. So if price come in and break this previous daily high, then you can look into buying. It's all like also look like this on the month time frame. All right, so I think it's gonna buy back up because it didn't go past pivot point, didn't drop below previous monthly close, or even tried to go below this the previous monthly low support major support. It did break above the previous weekly open, previous weekly's close, and then credit premium weekly high. The price breaks above the previous weekly and daily high. Look for buying position for look for buying position in previous weekly high broken. And then I feel like this would be the next stopping point for it, right? So I would like to see what price is going to do. Yeah, yeah. So Nas 100 not kept right now. I'm not too for sure what I do necessarily think is buying, but I would like to give the indication on a daily time frame, and if I see that, then I'll get in for a buy. Right now, um, I don't. So uh, let's move on to the next trade. Uh, just go. Oh, I was reading something. All right. So as you see, I tried to put in I think this was a squeeze position and it did not go in our favor. Price kind of pulled back a little bit, so they didn't activate it. But if it was, it could have activated the trade. Um, could cause to lose money. So, um, let's look at the previous months before I started going into this because I think this one's a straight. Yeah. Yep. So we're gonna delete the previous monthly open, close, high, low if you have any previous week and previous day, so I can get a better picture. And yeah, I'm a crunch on you why Mm. I don't know what happened. Um, all right. Um, I'm trying to clear the rest of this off. All right. So for the month, we see that. Oh, we see that price has paid. I mean, price um is above the previous monthly open. Also it's above the pivot point, so it's giving a strong signals of a buy. So you already know we're gonna go to the previous month on this kit on this scale, and then we're gonna drop down to the week, the day, the 4 hour, and to see if there are any opportunities to get in. If there isn't, we're gonna be patient. Um, give me one more second, and then we're gonna get started. That literally does nothing. Mm, just know me from eating. Now they're not taking that diaper off. Nyla, Nyla, don't touch that diaper. No, lay it down. Leave it alone. Lay it down. You're like, how you know? I keep no secrets, not from a dog. I'm just kidding. All right. Excuse me. All right. Take a few notes. The volume indicator is showing a strong bullish. Um, Price is above pivot point on the month time frame. And then currently, price is above the previous monthly close. But price have not broken previous monthly high. So now we can go down. This is like on month time frame. But do you take this call, Jordan? I need to finish this quarter. Okay, so I'm going down to the week. This week. Next week. So now we're marking the previous weekly. Turn that orange. Well, I turned that orange, but what's that? Can I get the back? What did you say? Huh? All right. So let's do it. Hmm. Let's just turn that blue. Okay. Here weekly close. Mm-hmm. All right, drop down to the day. What was that? Pivot point? Yeah. Praise. It says pages with the open.
What kind of beer? It's a white claw. Light and refreshing tasting. Uniquely cold way filter. There's an iconic flavor for
Time
everyone.
frame.
Come on, grab a pack. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Responsible. White also with flavor. White Claw also works Chicago, Illinois.
Shop organics at Whole Foods Market. Get 20% off no antibiotics ever. Organic air chilled boneless skinless chicken breast with Prime through May 20th. Welcome the warm weather by flame broiling this premium protein over the grill. While supplies last, shop in store or online. Terms apply.
Bienvenido a Maison Perrier, where sophistication no tiene límites. Elevate every moment y disfruta un gran sabor que va con tu estilo de vida. Porque nothing says elegant like a smooth and refreshing flavor. Si te gusta lo bueno de la vida, Maison Perrier te va a encantar. Maison Perrier. Feel elevated. Tap the banner to learn more.
Nature's bounty believes that the power to thrive.
All right, so let's go around to the day. Above the pivot points on the day.
Vitamins and supplements, and over 50 years of trust and care. You are bountiful. Nature's bounty.
Oh my gosh. Try to get this one, I'm gonna make that red, but not too big so I can try to see this color. Okay. And then clone it. Previous daily open. Previous daily close. So previous daily, huh? Previous daily, bro. So price is broken above the previous daily high. Okay. Where is my daily? They have a final position right here. And then put a sell loss a little bit below. So I'll put it below the pivot point. Yeah. Let's see what that one out is doing. Bet. All right, we'll see what that does. Time frame. Where's the? I want to take the notes. Yes, above pivot points on daily time frame. Um, and so we gonna look at it like that. I think it's gonna be a buy. So you'll watch. I think that sell loss a little excessive, but I learned from experience it may not be because it looks big, but it's not. Yeah, you'll lose a little bit, but it'll protect you in the end. So yeah. All right. So Nas 100, gold. Let's do GBP. Let's look at that one. You have some buying pressure in the daily time frame. Four and one. All right. Now moving on. Debbie. Hmm. We back at it. Sorry I had to take that break. So we're gonna do GBP, JPY USD, and then we're gonna peel out of here, okay? All right, make sure y'all stay tapped in. I'm definitely still getting in the works of doing the things I said I was gonna do. It's just been taking some time, but um there was an ideal trade for ideal trade the last time we had this. Um when you see where you marked our previous daily low, and let's go to the daily. Previous daily high at that point was at there. It's here now. And then just the opening and the closing. So it was just a little bit of a shift. But since then, there has been some time since we looked at this thing. It didn't go in the direction I thought it was. So that would have been an L. But because the news is bad, I didn't trade that trade no way. So that's why you always stick to what you align with. So with that being said, it's a few things happen. We see with this trend line, there was a nice little candlestick that broke that trend line, looking like price come back down to retest that trend line. And then as you can see, we're above the pivot point and we're on the day time frame. So it's a couple things I want to look at. Um, it did the same thing on the week time frame and we're above the pivot points. And then I think for the month, same thing, we're above a pivot point. Um, so I want to delete everything that's from the monthly to the weekly to the daily, remarket and see if I like anything. I'm gonna keep this trend line though, because it was a significant trend line I want to put emphasis on, you know. All right, so let me go ahead and delete that, delete this. Everything must go. Mm-mm. Okay. Get all those out. All those things out. Don't even matter. It's been a minute. But if you go back to the chart, you'll see that we saw this uh triangle for a second. So I want to point out something because I want to say for the GBP JPY, this is a really major still looking for a buy opportunity. Price up, retest there. Previous high, previous low. Um yeah. So this is a major support, which was a resistant price, was pushing that thing back down. Hold on. There you go. So this gray area, I see price broke a major resistance level creating a support. So I do think we're buying for long term. I do see price bound up to this area. And you can see for this triangle here, price broke up. So it would be like an ascending triangle and then price breaks the trend line. And then it was retesting at some point in time. I want to say, yeah, starting at the day. I see we still have some lines down here. So I want to make sure I delete those too. All right, so let me take this off. Yeah, boom. Okay. Down to the 4. So you see that retest there, break. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Let me see something. This was the at the low point. Then they made because this is like a inverted head and shoulder. I want to see something. Hmm. Hmm. That's the challenge there. I'm trying to figure out which way I want to go. Yeah, I know I want to go there though, because when you take off, yeah. So I would probably do something like this if I'm going to look at it for a buy. But I'm not. I haven't looked at the news yet, so we're gonna see what it's doing. Let the price get above here. Put it down to what his right shoulder is. Right there on the head of it. 9 times 10, I put it right here on that shoulder. That did do a 3 to 1, a 1 to 3. Yeah. And then go up, boom. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I see that. I do feel like this can travel far. Um, so I want to say a buy. Prices broke a major trend line. Let's go before I break this down and put the notes up here. Let's go to Forex Factory, look at everything, and then we'll talk about it from there. So we're looking for GBP, JPY. I want to look for the week. So the Monday GBP was not moving, JPY was not moving as well. Tuesday GBP was yellow. And there was no JPY news on Tuesday. GBP is orange and yellow for Wednesday tomorrow. Thursday GBP is yellow. Then but GBP will be red on Thursday. JPY will be yellow come Friday as well. So I wouldn't take this trade yet. I would want to see it come back. Actually, this would be an earlier entry. I would like to see it break this neckline here, come back to retest, and then getting in. But this is a riskier entry right here. So I'll make sure I put that on there starting at the starting here. We'll put price, um, GBP. Let's see, for the week. on the weekly time price weekly. Prices above a major support. Overall, broke above the W pattern with the time frames. Price is above pivot points on the month, week, day, not the 4 hour. So the day, the week, and the month. Time frame. 4 hour and 1 hour. Price is below pivot point. Price created and a single triangle. Broke to the upside. Breaking the solid and valid channel line. That's what I got. Because honestly, I think you can't like truly trade till about here and even here because you have to go back to visit the high. But we'll see. That's what I think. I'm just gonna watch it. I'm not gonna trade GBP JPY. So far as right now, for the rest of the week, GBP JPY will have red, yellow, and orange folders on the month weekly time frame. Prices above a major support overall. Broke above the W pattern on the higher time frame. Prices above pivot points on my month, week, and the day time frame, 4 hours and 1 hour. Prices below pivot point. Price created an ascending triangle and it broke to the upside, breaking the solid and valid trend line, looking for buying opportunities. So yeah, that's kind of, and then let's see what my volume say. Show some selling. Okay, that's what we had. Okay. So my day, my month is green, my week is green, my day is red, which we see right there. There's a little pullback in that day, but not much, which is above the pivot point as well. Um, 4 hours, same thing, except we have green in the 4 hour and red in the 1 hour. So we just got to see where things going, especially with news. But I have faith that it's going to do what it's going to do. I really have faith that it's going to continue to buy in the long term. But we just have to really see what price is doing to be able to articulate that. So that's what I got for GBP JPY for this week. We'll see what the entry look like later. Well, we'll see what that trade idea look like later. But last but not least, I'm going to do GBP JPY. I mean JPY USD. Hmm. Oh, let's look at news game. JPY was closed, I think, on Monday. I don't really like this trade. My guy Eric usually does. Shout out to Eric, but um, let's look. JPY news was not there. Then there was no news today. So that'd been the perfect time to trade. But then lead into USD is bad. JPY is good. JPY being the leading currency, then as long as that's yellow. And then USD is yellow Thursday. JPY is yellow Thursday. Friday, USD is yellow and JPY. So you got Friday, Thursday. All right, so there's some red photos in there. All right, let me see something. All right, so just like the last ones, let's go and see. Well, let's back this up because our expectation is looking for price to fall below pivot point and previous day low for the sell opportunity. Overall, switch to the upside down on the higher time frame. Price will buy up in the previous resistance zone to retest. Looking for buy overall opportunities. I'm trying to think how I really want this. Cause I don't know, I really don't like this trade, but I do it because, like I said, I know my guy Eric likes it. Um, it was at some point selling. It stopped somewhere in here, which would be that major supported level. Cause yeah, so let's do this. We're gonna delete everything. I'm trying to get to a point where I can delete all this. Okay. Gonna keep this up major supplies on. We're gonna delete the month. Previous close. I don't really know which way I want to go with this. I'm still thinking. Give me a second. So we're gonna go off of this candle since it's May already. I'm going to try to delete. We're gonna mark it and move it back. There you go. Hey, so we're gonna do previous monthly open, previous monthly close, previous monthly high. There's no low. And then as you can see, for the next month, which is the month that we in, price broke above the previous monthly close, which makes it higher than the previous monthly closing of the candlestick. So, and it also means it opened above the previous monthly open, which it did. So this also gives you an indication of the buy. We are still below the pivot point at this point, though. Okay, so let's mark the week.
Plan your way to financial growth with a checking or savings account from Cadence Bank. There's opportunity here. Find a branch near you at cadencebank.com. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
I'm Cody, Colin Department spokesperson here to tell you about Colin's customer service. As a dog, I appreciate a treat that's always reachable. Team that's always reachable. For maintenance or not that. With the Colin Connect app and dedicated resident services team, you won't have to bark for attention. But I will still bark for other reasons, like squirrels. Please don't bark. Bark, 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 bark. Cool. Next level apart.
The previous weekly open. Previous weekly close, previous weekly low, previous weekly open. All right. So looking at the previous week that we're in now, we're above the previous weekly close price, open and close in between that. It hasn't broke above the previous weekly open, but it is showing a little bit of buying pressure. As you can see, price was buying, selling, price bottom at a high, came back to retest it. As you can see, this is not as low as the next low, so it's creating lower highs, which is a good thing. So, we did the week. Let's go down to the day. And for the day, let's take the pivot points off. This necessarily be the day. Oh, thank you. All right, so this necessarily be the day. What is this? The 21st. So today's the 20th. Let's go off of this candle here. Even though these candles have broke above, right? Period daily open. Period daily close. Period daily high. And I see price book above that previous daily high. And the orange is also a pretty weekly open. So there's an opportunity. I think you can get in there. I don't really like it, but because I like where this trade is going, we can put an ideal in and see what it do. Well, above pivot point for the forward. Hmm. I'm trying to see if I would pivot points up here. I don't really like this trade, but I'll put an idea in. Price coming to about here, since you'll be above the pivot point. Um, I put it a little bit below there. Nope, that's too far. I'll put it here. So and it looks something like this. So this is more of a trade idea. I don't really like this because of the news. So um, you can put trade idea, watch, and see if price takes the buying opportunity. So yeah, as far as that goes right now, I don't really like that trade. So I don't try to give too many ideas about it. Um, but you can definitely do that. I think this trade can at least go up to back up to this resistant level point. Um, but still I would try it out, right? So I would see what it's given. You know what I'm saying? So time being, I'm gonna keep it like that. I'm still gonna watch this because it's a major resistant level. So I do think price will go back above two tests that major resistant level. So you can get that squeeze out of that. Um, but yeah, that's what I see for right now. This trade can honestly go all the way back up to this point or even up to this point. So we'll see if I can get pushed to 3-1. 2-1. All right. And that's all I got for us right now. We'll see what these trades do. I would definitely stay tapped in. And life be life is so don't take it hard. If you gotta keep going with life, keep going. You gotta take a break, take a break. And Yeah, I may not know everything. I may not hit all the trades. I may not make none. Honestly, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing at this point. But I'm still trying. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. And I have a lot of faith in myself. So see you next time here at FOREX Is Stupid. Because it is stupid. But life is too. So keep going. I'll see you later. Peace.